just gonna go on the table.
Amen.
They're necessary, and that's it. You have the same
Basement, they used to.
It's just right. You taste them first. This is all us. Where do we stay?
I remember back in 2019 when I enrolled in entrepreneurship at ASU. And some people were confused because it kind of sounds like an oxymoron. What do you mean you're going to school for entrepreneurship? Why would you get a degree in that? It's a question we get all the time in the department. Why study entrepreneurship? And after 4 years in this program, I think I found my answer. It's not just the practical knowledge of how to do something. It's the lessons from the stories we hear that challenge us and change the way we think about ourselves and the world. And there is no better story to demonstrate that idea than the story of Avanti. That story begins here in Italy, in a small town east of Rome called Pacentro. Pacentro is home to 1,000 people, and it was here that Gino DiMarzio and Marisa Mancini were born, raised, and became childhood friends. Life in Pacentro in the 1940s was difficult, and from a young age my grandparents learned how to work hard because they simply had no other choice. My grandmother's family got by making shoes and trading for other goods. However, soon the effects of World War II saw them forced to leave. Gino stayed with an uncle in Pittsburgh, while Marisa, along with many other Italians, fled to Buenos Aires in Argentina. It was here that Marisa's brother Roberto would later be born and meet his future wife, Lucia. Marisa, though, was unenchanted with Argentina and found herself planning a move back to Italy, if it weren't for Gino re-entering the picture. Marisa visited Gino in the United States, ended up marrying him, and a decade later were joined by Roberto and Lucia. Gino's Air Force career had them moving all over the country. At one point, they were stationed in Texas, and here we see the idea begin to sprout for creating the Avanti restaurant.
And I was in Texas. You know, my husband Gino was stationed in Texas that time, and I was working on Pizza Hut. But I always liked to cook since I was young. So Lucy and my brother came to visit us. So they came and to see what I was working. And they said, wow, this will be a good idea if we go back to Cheyenne, open a restaurant, because we didn't have no Italian restaurant. And that's the idea came out. So in 1983, we came back to Cheyenne, and Gino retired, and the idea, we put it together, and we opened a restaurant. But the funny thing is we didn't have no money.
No money.
I know.
Well, we opened the restaurant. These were the two cooks. Roberto was the buyer.
He was in the cash register because he
I
knew nothing.
was in the front,
I was in the front there.
taking care of customers.
Okay.
I only remember
It was crazy.
the second
We
day.
didn't know what we were doing.
No, we were not. The second day, this man, Dick, she say, he helped us. He came and said, the food was really good, but the portion that my son, it was bigger than mine.
I know.
It was a little boy.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, what we did.
I know. It was busy. It
Oh,
was
gosh.
it was packed.
And it was menu.
Yes.
It don't was buffet, it was easy,
Menu,
like
yeah.
the second one. It was menu. It was the first time we was cooking for so many people.
I know. So, but
Yes.
Yeah,
It was I remember it was crazy.
It was crazy,
Yeah,
very
because we-
busy. The location we decorated, it was so cozy and nice.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we opened what? All day? No,
No, we
we
opened-
opened at noon
11.
for lunch and dinner. We didn't get out of there probably until 10:30. And
It
the end
was
of the
more
night,
than 10:30.
Oh,
We closed at
probably.
10.
We
Oh, we
closed,
closed
we
at
were
10.
midnight.
and then we got together in the kitchen and said, how are we going to do this tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
We are
how we do it?
exhausted. How are we going to do it? But we did. We did. Every day got better. And we struggled a little bit. Very successful too. People were happy.
Yes.
And they felt, even today, after 30 years we've been open, people come and say, I miss the restaurant.
What's remarkable about the opening of the first location is that the odds were stacked against them from the very beginning. Between the DiMarzios and the Mancinis, they had $8,000, and they were laughed at by the banks that they sought funding from. A restaurant is a high-risk venture, and nobody believed in them to make it happen. That was until they met their real estate agent, Dick. He became a good friend of theirs. He had eaten their food, and he saw the vision. He saw the grit, and he had faith. With his help, they were able to convince the banks to obtain a $25,000 loan to rent the first location for 2 years. But that building closed, and when they tried to buy it, the banks shut them down again, and they had to move out. At every stage of the process, they faced adversity. To fund opening the second location, they had to sell their house. And even then, money was still tight. The kitchen had no door. The furnishings were either second-hand or they built them themselves from scratch. And the challenges continued to mount.
We opened the restaurant. Like I said, unfortunately, a big, tragedy happened. Our daughter, second, she got very ill. We were in the hospital. So Robert and Lucy have to open the restaurant for the first time. It was very, very hard and sad for us. We couldn't be there. Then another thing, we didn't have the money to open, put a cash register. Can you imagine what a hard time we had? So this young man, he worked he passed away. What's the name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
He was an advertised man. And he said, I give you the money to open the restaurant for that day.
Who was
And
it?
then you,
Was
in the
he gonna
future,
have-
you pay me with advertising, something like that.
Right, that was with the radio station, that might have been.
He
then-
used to run them all.
Yeah, then,
Oh,
Yes, I remember that, okay.
he gave us the money.
gave us the
I don't
money.
remember that.
For the cash
I
register.
don't remember that either.
Nathan-
I don't remember.
Yes, I
Nathan. I
remember
remember
Nathan.
him. Yes.
And he said, I give you the money
Huh.
to open, and then later
Oh, one
you
month.
give us some food, or
Huh.
or you buy my advertising, something like that.
I know he was doing
That's-
advertising, but I
yes.
don't remember he did that. I know he helped
I
us a
always
lot too.
remember that. He was a
Oh, look
really
at that.
nice man, really nice
Wow.
man.
Oh yeah.
So, and we did, and it was very successful. Like I said, we were the only Italian restaurant, and we welcome everybody. Everybody felt they were coming home to enjoy the meal with their family and greet us all the time. And
In
So-
prom time, when the kid go to prom, it was the place to be.
okay, yes.
For the young people to come and eat in
Yes,
Avanti's.
I
Come
know.
on, you guys laughing, but it's true.
Yes.
It's true. It was the place to be.
Yeah.
Gene
And we feel so
Son
good
came.
when they say that to us.
I know, all
Oh,
the
yes.
legislators used to come for their convention
Yeah,
and everything.
yes.
All the cowboys during Frontier used to come.
Yes.
We were doing very
He was a
well.
cowboy one time. You remember? He did the advertising.
Yeah.
As Avanti matured and grew, so too did the love from the community. Generations of families worked and dined at the restaurant. The daily effort put into everything from handmade pasta to treating every customer and employee like family always paid off.
We are very hardworking people. We didn't mind the hour, we didn't mind the stress, and we really, really, work really hard, maybe 12 hours a day, all of us. My brother, my sister-in-law, my sister, my mother too, and my husband, myself. We didn't care. We worked for 7 days straight, all the time. And, I guess we've been blessed. And our hard work, it really paid off. And we got very good at the restaurant. We extended. We opened a buffet, and that drove more people coming, even people from the base who used to come for lunch. They didn't have enough time, but it was a buffet. It was a good price, good food, and they used to come almost every day. A lot of wedding we used to have, and graduation, all the young people it was a lot of fun. The whole town got to know us. From
the whole time we used to come to the restaurant.
Yeah, just to see us.
Yeah.
Just to say hello, what's the special today? They felt, when they come, they felt like they were home and have a good meal.
It's like you were expanding the family.
Right. So even today, after 10 years, we've been closed, people still call it when we see downtown or shopping. Oh, we miss the restaurant, we miss your food, we miss you people, especially Robert. Everybody used to love Robert, he's very friendly. We didn't mind all the sacrifice we did because we made the whole town, it's a small town, very happy and satisfied.
And we were successful.
Yes, we were very successful.
And very profitable, to be honest.
Yeah.
The days were long, but the work was good. Avanti provided the livelihood for the DiMarzio and Mancini families. However, as the years passed, competition grew, and the hands that had helped so many, scarred from 30 years of dedicated service, began to grow tired.
Well, the decision was, when we started, we was the second restaurant in all that strip of the range. So we were successfully really, really busy because there wasn't that many restaurants. Right now, it's probably 50 restaurants in that strip. So people have more choices. And because of that, that's not that the people, our customers, they didn't like our food. It's just that they had more choices. And it's right. I mean, it's nothing wrong. If people used to come 2-3 times a week, was coming 1 time a week because they have other choices they want to try, and which is fine. So because of that, we were losing a little bit of business. Not that we were going broke, but
No profit.
we thought, well, if it is continue like that, it's better to leave in a point where you are appreciated and missed than being broke and sad. Anyway.
Tia, tell us a little bit about when customers heard that you were going to close. What was the response from the customers?
They was upset because we was closing. And they asked why. And we said, well, 30 years in business, that was plenty for us. And people was happy that we can rest because they understood that we was working a lot. And then they was sad at the same time because they couldn't miss us. And people said, where we gonna go? Where we gonna go eat Friday night? We always come here, with the family. And as today, when we deliver food to them, they still say, we don't have place where to go Fridays. That's the stalls.
So take us now to the last day.
It
What
was
it like?
sweet and bitter, how they
Yeah,
say.
bittersweet.
Bittersweet, because we was ready to rest, put it that way, okay? But it was sad to leave all what we only know how to do, work. Okay, work and see our people. The mother, the grandmother, the kid, the grandkid, everybody, and those people that used to come every another day.
When you locked the door for the last time, can you remember what you were feeling?
Sad. I was sad. And I still say, and I miss it.
Roberto was happy.
Roberto.
Well,
No.
I mean, it was sad in a way, but it was happy in another way.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it was the time.
Yes.
It was the time for us to say enough.
Like Tio said, it was good to close it because we were making the profit and it was good to go. But sad to see we're never going to get to see all the customers. They got to be like a family.
Closing the restaurant was a bittersweet moment. It had been such an integral part of our lives for so long, even mine. I have fond memories of going to the restaurant as a child. It's hard not to look back at the story, at the impact, without an immense sense of pride. I can't help but look up to my family. The tenacity, the drive, the big dreams, and the desire to be something greater than you are now never fails to inspire me. Their entrepreneurial spirit is truly evergreen. What I've come to understand about entrepreneurship through my degrees and through my family is that the models and frameworks of value creation are important, vital even, but only a tool. My family was never formally trained on the business model canvas or customer journey maps, yet they understood better than anyone else the engine that drives a successful entrepreneur. Unwavering dedication to service at the highest level. Service of your customers, service of your community, service of your family. Entrepreneurship that leaves a legacy that people will remember is really as simple as treating people right. In every application of entrepreneurship, if you can remember that, and if you can find the strength to overcome adversity, then you have found the heart of what it means to be an entrepreneur. In whatever industry and at whatever scale, you will express that passion in your own way. In doing so, you will discover for yourself the authenticity, the fulfillment, and the success of Avanti. E un'ultima cosa, non dimentica mai, la famiglia è tutta.